This is Charlotte of charlottescornercafe.com, and I am doing this video talking about my new blog post, Oh, Dreams Are Such Funny Things. So the other day I was having this dream. It was a very vivid dream, and when I woke up, I didn't really realize that I was awake at first. And I looked over at my husband and I was like, I had these funny thoughts of being mad and upset at him, and I was like, what's going on? And then I realized it was a dream. So let me back up a little bit and talk about the dream. So we were having this crazy, silly dream. It's hard to get into all of that. And I'm like, when I wrote the blog post, I didn't get into all the dream, but I'll try to explain it a little bit here for y'all. So it started off that we were at my husband's parents' house, but it's not their real house. It was just their house in the dream, of course, because it's a dream. It's got to be kind of silly. And we were there. His parents were there. And then my parents showed up and my sister showed up. So we're at the parents' house. And then my parents and my sister decide we're going to my in-laws' apartment that they own. So I guess they own some apartment and they were trying to sell it or something. I'm not really sure. It was a dream. Didn't all get explained. But we go over to this apartment and they're trying to sell it, and for some reason we're taking wet laundry out of the laundry machine and we're taking pool floaties and weird things out of the apartment. And then these people run into us at the apartment and they're wanting to buy it and we're talking to them and yada yada. So we ended up back at my in-laws' house. As we pull up into my in-laws' house, my uncle, my dad's brother, is in the yard, parked in his car, sleeping in the back seat. We're like, what's going on with this? And then my in-laws come out and my husband comes out with his father, and he's dressed in these crazy clothes, like a 70s shirt with this gold chain, and he has on these crazy swim trunks, like 80s type swim trunks with big hibiscus flowers and all kinds of stuff like that. And then he has on, I think, like aviator glasses, and he has his hair all done crazy. And I'm like, okay, what in the world are you doing and where are you going? So him and his dad were going to go, I think, to some like poker game, but it wasn't poker in the dream. It was some kind of card game. So they're going to this game and he's dressed crazy. And I got upset at him. So the whole point of this whole story is that I got upset at him in the dream, and this is why I got upset at him. So at that point, I think that was pretty much the end of the dream, and that's when I kind of woke up and I was in bed, but I still thought I was in the dream, and I looked over at him and I was so mad. I had these like deep feelings of anger and I was just upset, and I'm like, I don't know why. And then I realized it was a dream, and I'm looking at him and I'm like, oh, I was dreaming. He didn't do that in real life. And then I felt bad, and this whole like wave of emotion came over me that I was like, why am I so upset at him? What's going on, you know? So then I was sitting there looking at him and I was like, he had this sweet, peaceful, calm expression on his face. And I was like, I'm sorry. And I was talking to him very quietly because he was still asleep. And I was like, I'm sorry, love. I didn't mean to be mad at you and all this stuff. So then I sat there chuckling to myself after I was telling him I'm sorry, and I snuggled up to him and I was chuckling because I'm like, oh my goodness, he didn't even know the dream happened. It wasn't real. I wasn't mad at him in real life, but here I am apologizing to him and talking to him and telling him that I'm sorry. And it just kind of struck me as funny because I was like, well, let me snuggle up to him and just show him that I love him. And then that gets into what I wrote in the blog post and talks about, it was just kind of funny because it hit me that sometimes I don't like snuggling up with my husband because I'm more of a person that likes to sit still. Doesn't like to sit still, sorry. That doesn't like to sit still. I don't like to just be calm and sit there. But he likes to snuggle, and he likes me to just sit with him, show him some time and affection, and snuggle with him. And I think that I need to realize that that's a good thing, to soak in that affection that he has for me, and just to say, hey, he wants to snuggle with me. That's the way he feels loved and the way that he wants to love me, and I need to accept that instead of trying to force him to love me by, I don't know, washing the clothes or something crazy like that. And I'm like, well, he does that sometimes, but not on a regular, that's another story. Anyways, instead of telling him that I want him to love me in a certain way, to just allow him to love me the way that he loves me. So let me see, I'm losing my train of thought here, and I wrote it all down. So in the long run, I'm like, friends, I just want you to think about it. If you have a loved one that loves you in a way that isn't maybe your love language or whatever, just try to accept that love that they want to give you and, respond to the love they're giving you. And as you respond to the way they love you, they're more open to try other ways of loving you or you loving them. And it just makes you feel more happy and content. So that's the point of my story. I think it kind of got lost in all the explaining of the dream, but check out my blog post at charlottescornercafe.com. You can also follow me on Instagram at Charlotte's Corner Cafe, also on Twitter and Facebook. Thank you.